Hi, this is Nicholas Bell with IONCINEMA, here to review Bill and Ted Face the Music, directed by Dean Parisot. It will be released in theaters and on digital on demand, courtesy of Orion Pictures, on August 28, 2020. As were the previous two Bill and Ted movies from 1989 and 1991, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, respectively, they're are perhaps impervious to criticism, and therefore if you are fans of the first two films and those characters in that universe, you most likely will definitely want to check out Bill and Ted Face the Music. But for anyone who never really quite understood the appeal beyond their affect in the first place, it might be kind of a tedious venture. Scripted by the original screenwriters Chris Matheson and Ed Solomon, but Steven Soderbergh shows up as an executive producer. It's clear that there's a lot of interest and nostalgia to be had in revisiting Bill and Ted, who are now found 25 plus years later. They had been charged with writing a song as their band, the Wild Stallions, that would bring together humanity, which they still haven't done. And they are visited from the figures of the future. The great leader, George Carlin, of course, has passed away, but now we have Holland Taylor and his daughter, Kristen Schaal, playing Kelly in his stead. You have 77 minutes to write this song we've been waiting for. It has to be played in San Dimas tonight at 7:17, otherwise the world's going to fall apart. And we're privy to things happening in the background because time is folding in on itself, and famous historical figures are being ripped out of their respective eras and flopped elsewhere, and it's causing chaos. So Bill and Ted decide that they need to visit their future selves and take the song, stealing from themselves, as they put it, to bring back to their current present-day situation. And of course, they end up having difficulty accomplishing that because their future selves in their various iterations are kind of losers or are in basic difficulty. At the same time, in their present day, they have chosen to engage in couples therapy with their wives, the princesses, who are played by different actresses but were characters in the previous films. But they take couples therapy to mean that they are a couple of couples, and they are so inseparable that they are all together in couples therapy. And there's some mild amusement there with a therapist played by Jillian Bell. Of course, another major addition are their daughters, Thea and Billy, played by Samara Weaving and Brigette Lundy-Paine, who are both adopting their father's affect. Billy perhaps having done a little more work, and maybe Reeves is just a little more easier to imitate as Ted. But there we are. Anyhow, fast forward to they are able to get the song. They realize what they were missing. Watch it to see what that is to make the song. William Sadler returns as Death, who's still angry that they sued him for the name The Wild Stallions. There's also Holland Taylor has sent out a robot to tail them and kill them, i.e. send them to hell, as kind of her backup plan for assisting the universe. And then the daughters, of course, try to help their fathers by going throughout time and picking out musicians that would make a great band to create this song, including Jimi Hendrix and Louis Armstrong and Ling Lund and Mozart and Kid Cudi, of course. And then there's a song that sounds an awful lot like instrumental version of an Arcade Fire song. Again, if you are entertained by Bill and Ted and their universe, this may be your cup of tea. Otherwise, it just seems like an unnecessary trip down a nostalgic path that we seem to be wont to do. I am a fan of Dean Parisot. His sophomore film, of course, was Galaxy Quest. But this feels a little more akin to him stepping into franchise territory like Red 2, back in 2013. At the end of the day, and then there is, of course, stay till the end of the credits. There's an extra little Easter egg for people. But I would give this film 2 out of 5 stars. Thank you.
Hey, this is Eric from IONCINEMA.com. If you want to support us, subscribe below. For more reviews, interviews, film festival coverage from Sundance, Cannes, Toronto, you want to check out these guys on this side.